In this example, Glenn Gary is going to follow the Sales Concepts recommended best practices in a series of calls to his prospect. If he is not clicking a lead record in your CRM to open SalesTalk, the first screen he may see is the big picture. He'll be focused on the appointments he has today. He doesn't want to miss those important phone calls that he specifically scheduled or to-dos. At maybe a more granular level, he could look at the lists that are important to him. He could be moving, his eye would move towards the hot leads, and then we'll come back to the ones that we need to work on today as the particular calls for today. So in this particular hot lead list, it will open up and you can just start to call the leads and you can go to the next lead, just one after another, and just or previous or whatever the case may be. So it's a pretty straightforward, effective way to do it. But let's just say that he wanted to go back and he wanted to work on today's calls and appointments, which is a dynamic list of today's scheduled calls, emails, and meetings and to-dos. It's dynamic. So during the day, things are added to this particular list on the rules that you establish. So there are 6 things he's supposed to do today, 6 people he's supposed to do something with, and it has the status of the lead stage, etc., and the day we're supposed to do it. So let's just say we'll start with the first one, which is Joe Smith. So Joe Smith, we don't know a lot about Joe Smith, so maybe what we should do is we should follow the recommended sales process that we're going to make the first call. So we make the first call, and that's going to be logged, but unfortunately he's not there. So then we need to basically leave a really professional voicemail. And of course, Sales Concept has provided us what to say in any circumstance. Now we try it again. Let's make our second call after a period of time has elapsed. And we're lucky enough to get him on this particular call now, so now we need to start the conversation. So here's what Sales Concepts advises is the best way to open the door to start the call, how to build rapport with the customer, how to do the discovery of the important facts you need to close your sale, etc. So as we go through this, you'll see these are all the points that were covered in our 8 steps to closing class. So this puts it in perspective of the calls that you're making to use the methodology that you have learned. So let's just say that we want to basically take some notes after the end of the call. So you can type any notes you want. The notes will be in this, what we call the story so far. You can copy notes from emails or from landing pages or wherever you need to, or just type them in. You can set specific activities. The cool thing about this is that you can set an activity for someone else to help you. For example, you could have fill out a contract or send the contract out, and you could assign it to someone else on your team. So it's a way to communicate very effectively, which is why reps like to do it, because all they have to do is assign it to someone else, and it's taken care of. Or if not, it's so noted. Then you want to have then you want to basically set the most important things. Is you want to set the next action. So there's a couple ways to set the next action. One of which is we just do the drop downs, whether it's a call or email or meeting or whatever it may be, and change the date. Another way to do it is to look at what we call my view, which is a view which means my view. Each rep can have their own view. The purpose is to give the reps what they want to see in the sequence they want to see them. And if you are integrated with the CRM, you'll see how easy it is to go through the calling sequence here and get everything properly updated in the CRM with nothing else to do. It just happens automatically. So I'll say this guy is now qualified. That's going to be updated in the CRM automatically. So having done that, I think we've done a good job, and I hope that you see how that this thing would save you a lot of time, because it does complete, as we were talking about it, a complete story so far of everything that has been sent or said to this particular prospect with the next action date. It's all recorded, and the next action will trigger him to be on the list for tomorrow's calls, the next week calls, or whatever you got. Hope you found this a very valuable tool.